This tutorial, it's going to show you how you can secure your script using some very simple scripting technique that I'm going to be showing you in this tutorial. Hey, what is up everybody? Welcome to another FileMaker beginner tutorial. My name is Sunny Chu, and today I want to talk about a topic that I don't quite know the official name for it, but let's just call it script security. Now, a little bit of background. This file that we are working on in this tutorial, it's one of the files that I showed in 2 weeks ago with the inventory update script tutorial. Now, the reason I'm making this tutorial is because one of the viewers gave me a comment asking like, how do we secure the script that we have been working on in this tutorials? So a little bit of context. Basically, this script is what we have been working on, and when we click confirm, we have a sales order here, like selling multiple different items. And when we click confirm, it's going to update the inventory amount on the right hand side. So it's kind of like this. Like if we keep clicking, the amount keep deducing. And he is asking like, how do I check if this confirm button has been clicked once before? And also, how can I check if we have enough inventory inside inside our inventory before we click this button? So this tutorial, I want to explain a little bit more concept about this part, and we are going to be working on this file right here. So let's get started. Now let's go into the script workspace, and I think I want to start by introducing to you a very simple concept of how these like script security works as a basic idea. Now, if we look at this deduct stock script, which is this button right here, we have a ton of things that we are trying to do in here. Like that's what we have been doing in the last tutorial. Now, I am not going to be focusing on this part too much, so I'm just going to like give a lot of space here. And the real script, I'm going to write a comment here that says the real script. That means anything below here is the actual action that we want to do. Now, anything above that line, it's the place where we are going to place our security safeguard. Maybe that's a good name for it. I don't know. But now, one very simple example that I can show you of how you can like kind of secure your button or script is that, well, sometimes inside, like for example, this case, we have a button here that we can just randomly click and then the stock is already updated, which is not very safe because sometimes the user might just like hand slip or have like a itchy finger or something. So what we want to do in the first part is I just want to show you like a very simple safeguard that when you click onto it, it pops up a dialog asking you if you actually confirm to do it. So it's a very simple thing. So let's see how we do it. So basically, we are just going to use the show custom dialog here, and we are going to click into it and say, are you sure you want to update the inventory? Like this, and question mark, click OK, and we're going to give two options in here. The first button, we're just going to say OK. The second button, we're going to say cancel. And when we click OK, so when this script runs, this show custom dialog will show up. Now, depending on the answer of this show custom dialog, I am going to either like stop this script completely or continue to the later part. So if the person clicks onto the OK button, so that will be like get last message choice, and if they click onto the OK button, then we do nothing about it. But if you click on the second button, get last message choice equals 2, this part equals to 2, that means if they click on the second button here, if they click cancel, then we are going to exit script, and that's the basic idea behind this. Now, to just give you a better idea of if this script works or not, we're just going to create like a show custom dialog in the middle here. Let's say scenario A. I hope I'm spelling this right. They say no. They say no. And if this script is successfully able to go down to this line without exiting here, then I'm going to like scenario B here. they say yes, something like that. So you know if this script works or not. So I'm gonna click like confirm here. It's gonna ask me, are you sure you want to update the inventory? Now, if I click cancel, they say no, and this script stops. And well, you can't exactly see, but the inventory has not been updated. So basically, if I set them all to 100 and do that again, and if I click cancel, it should stay 100. So let's click, well, let's move it to a better place, like here to the side. When I click confirm, it's gonna ask me if I want to do that. Click cancel, okay, nothing updates. Now, if I do it the other way around, confirm and click okay, that I really sure that I want to update the inventory. Click OK. They said yes, and the inventory has updated. So this is kind of like one of the most basic idea of how you can secure a script. It's just to ask the user, are they sure they really want to do it? And that's the first example I want to show you. Now, the second scenario where this script will not be like will be a little bit dangerous is when I have this sales order here that has already been updated once, and I don't want to be able to like update it multiple times, because for example, if I sell like 3 Game Boys, 5 toy cars, and like 15 skateboard to the customer, and I confirm the stock and minus the inventory once, I don't really want to do that again the next time. So to kind of battle this issue, this is what I'm going to do. And I think there's a lot of different ways of how you can approach this situation, but this is usually what I do. So I'm going to File, Manage Database, and inside the sales order table, I'm going to add like a new field inside it. Let's call it already inventory update. Now, I usually don't use like a super descriptive name like this. It's more like shorter and more easier to work with. But for this tutorial's sake, I'm just going to make it like super long, so you know exactly what those fields mean. So I'm going to set this as like a number and create it and click OK. And for easier access to this field, I am just going to place it inside the layout. And this is our, well, I'm going to change the color of this to white. Wait, white color? Yeah, I guess that works. I'm going to remove that a little bit later. But basically, if I have already confirmed this sales order before, I'm going to mark it as number 1. And that's the idea behind this field. And so what I want to do is, well, the first time that I kind of confirm this sales order, after I've done everything, after I've go to the inventory and then minus all the stock, and then I come back, I want to do one step that is going to like mark the sales order as kind of like we already completed the inventory action. So we're going to do like a set field on the bottom, and already updated, well, already inventory update, set the calculation and set it as 1. So if I save this and I, let's just quickly minimize this. And if I click confirm for this sales order, S003, when I confirm this, well, the inventory count kind of like deduced. And we also have this mark as 1, this field. Now, usually we don't really need this field to show up on the layout. It just needs to like work in the back end. But this is kind of like a tutorial, so I want you to see what is happening kind of like behind the scene. So the security safeguard measure that we want to do in here is that when this is 1, we don't want to run the script here. So kind of like if the already update inventory field is equals to 1, we stop the script. So we don't want it to kind of like run the script 2 times for a single kind of sales order. So if let's do here, if already inventory update is equals to 1, then I am going to exit the script. So this is like a very simple safeguard. So now if I click confirm, click OK, well, it's still like that. Oh wait, I haven't saved this script. You can see this dot right here. So if I save this now and do that again, confirm, and let's click OK, you'll notice that the current inventory does not update. Now, usually what I would do in this case is I want to give the user kind of like a feedback so they know that it didn't go through. Otherwise, they might thought they clicked onto it and updated something, but actually they are not. So before we exit the script, I usually add like a show custom dialog here that says like maybe something like fail, and then a column, and then say this sales order is already updated before, something like that. Now we don't really need the user to like choose the action, so just them saying okay, I get this is okay. So do that, and if I click confirm, click OK, it says fail. And now one thing that I would further improve this script is that right now, even if this has already been updated before, when I click confirm, it's still asking me if I am if I want to update the inventory or not. And it only when, well, it's only going to say the fail when I click OK. Now, I think a more intuitive approach is to put these safeguard on the top of the whole script. So I'm actually checking if we already updated before, and if it has not been updated before, then we ask the user for the confirm permission. So it's kind of like this. This time, if I click confirm, it's just going to say fail. It's not even going to ask me yes or no. And if I remove this and click confirm, then it's going to ask me if I want to update the inventory. Well, let's just click cancel here. So that's the second thing that you can do, which is to kind of set up like a I don't know, like a status control field. So this is kind of like a status that you already updated the inventory, and using that status control field to kind of control if you are doing something or not. Moving on, let's go to the next part, which is the other question that the viewer asked me, which is to, well, right now I am like trying to sell 3 Game Boys in this sales order. What if I don't have enough Game Boy to be sold? And if I haven't do any sort of control in this part, when I click confirm and just confirm this, it's gonna turn the Game Boy to -3, which breaks the whole system because, well, you can't have like negative inventory. It doesn't work that way. So we want to have some sort of safeguard to help us check if we have enough stock before we proceed this particular order. Now, to do this, I am going to again set up some sort of fields in the table to help us with this process. So let's go to File, Manage, Database, and let's have a quick look at the relationship. Now, in case you don't know, I have already set up the relationship to like one sales order can have multiple line items, and each line item will be linked to one product here using these like foreign key and primary key that connects them together. And if you don't know how these relationship works, I would suggest you to check out my relationship explained video, and you're gonna learn a little bit more about how they work. So the first thing I want to do is in the sales order line table, which is like this portal kind of like table here, I want to set up a field to check if there's still enough stock. Well, let's call this field not enough stock. And again, this is going to be like a field to help us determine certain issue. So previously we have this field that shows a sales order has already updated inventory. This time we are going to create a field that checks if we have enough stock to fulfill this line item. So let's make a calculation here and click OK. And what I want to do in here is, well, I want to start from the sales order line table, and I want to, well, kind of compare. Let's say a Game Boy is 3, this quantity here. I want to compare this quantity with well, the Game Boy. Wait, it's not the Game Boy quantity in here, the current inventory of the product table. So I want to compare these two. So I want to go to the product table and I want to get the current inventory here as well. So this is what we want. So that means like we want 3 Game Boys here. And this is what we have. So if what we want is bigger than what we have, then we have a problem. So I am going to set up something like if what we want is bigger than what we have, then I'm going to mark this field, this not enough stock field, to 1. And then otherwise, that means we have enough stock, empty. So if there's a problem, we say 1. If there's no problem, we say empty. So click OK and click OK again. So now we have created this kind of like a checking field. So I just want to quickly do that and see if it works. So I am going to like create a new field inside this little portal here, and not enough stock. I am probably going to like give it the color of red. It's not changing my text color, that's weird. Oh, it's here. I need to change the color to red. So if I click B now, you will notice that for Game Boy, I need 3 of them. But I have -3 here. So you can see we got the number 1 here as red, which is the not enough stock field that we created. While at the same time, if you look at Toy Car, we need 5 of them, but we have 75. So there's no red number 1 in here. So let's do a quick test. We turn the Toy Car from 75 to 4. That means we don't have enough stock. When we click OK and go back to this page here, you will notice that now Toy Car has also got this number 1. Now, what we want to do is we want to kind of like add up all the red number from this sales order into one single field. So let's go to File, Manage, Database, and let's go back to Sales Order. And we're going to create a new field that's called have line item without stock. I'm not sure if it's like a good name or not. I don't think that's a good name, but you get the idea. So what I want to do is let's call it line items without stock. That might be a better name. So I want to add up all these red numbers together in this sales order. So I'm going to do like a calculation field. And I am going to like starting from the sales order table as the calculation starting point. And then I want to go to the sales order line and like kind of sum up how many not enough stock value I have in that line table. So if I click OK now, click OK again, and I'm just going to copy this and place it on the bottom here. And I'm going to add in that new field, line items without stock. So as you can see, now it adds up these 2 ones and turn it into 2. So that means this sales order has 2 line items that does not have enough stock to fulfill it. Now, once we have these calculations that kind of like give us the final data, then we can go back to the script workspace and start working on it. So basically the idea is pretty simple. Basically we set up all the calculation, and then once we do, we set up the final script to check for it before we execute the script. So here, if at least 1 line item within the sales order is without enough stock, then quit the script like this. So I'm going to do like if I forget what is the name of the field. Well, if line item without stock is bigger than 0, so there's at least like 1 line item that does not have enough stock, Then I am going to exit the script. And I think at the same time, like we did previously, we want to like have like a show custom dialog to tell people why this failed. So we can kind of do something like this. So fail, we can do one or more of the line item does not have enough stock to fulfill it. I'm not sure if that's spelled right. Click OK, click OK. And let's try that again. So we are going to remove the already inventory update field back to empty. And we're going to click confirm. And it's going to say fail. One or more of the line item does not have enough stock to fulfill it. And let's just quickly go to the inventory table. And we have Game Boy and Toy Car. So let's add like a few thousand to it. Game Boy and Toy Car. So, well, this field needs some time to update. But now we update all of them. And here's what we can do is that, let's do that again. Well, I don't need to click this. I can just click this confirm button here. So click this. It's going to ask me, are you sure you want to update the inventory? That means it's passed through both the checking of inventory and also this status field, the check for this status field. And when I click OK, now I am able to well, update the stock amount. Now notice that since I minus 15 skateboard, and now I only have 10 skateboards, so this order is no longer able to like kind of deduce the stock again because we don't have enough stock to fulfill it. But of course we already like updated the inventory for this sales order, so it's not like a big problem. Now one of the things that I would do is I don't want these like back-end controlling fields to be showing up on the front end. It doesn't really need to because the user doesn't need to know what's happening on the back end. So what I can do is I can just like remove these once I set up everything. And maybe in here the quantity, I can set a conditional formatting based on like a formula that says, I guess, if the sales order line does not have enough stock, that means this one equals to 1. Then I am going to make the text color as like red. So you kind of know that this one does not have enough stock. And then you can check through the inventory to see how many you have. Now, on the other way, this field doesn't need to exist as well. One way that we can do this is we can also set kind of like a conditional show and hide, where you can like, well, if already inventory update equals to 1, then I just hide this confirm button altogether. So you can see when this is 1, this whole confirm button just like disappear. And if I like kind of like make it back to the original state, the confirm button show up back again. And using this method, we can kind of like just remove this thing altogether. And then we are going to do this one final time. So I'm maybe going to add like, let's do 16 skateboard in here. And when I click confirm, it's going to ask me, are you sure you want to update the inventory? Click OK. Now this has been updated already. So that's the idea behind how you can kind of like add a little bit more security behind your script. And I think this is a very important thing to learn because you can make like the perfect script that does a lot of crazy automation. But if your user is not entering the right data, or they're doing things the wrong way, then it doesn't matter how good your script is able to automate things, it's going to automate the wrong thing. So by adding these kind of security script, you can kind of reduce the error rates that the user might have when they are using a database. And it really helps a lot in the long run because, like, for example, if I just like let this go through, minus 15, and then I update the stock here, it becomes minus 14. When the user look at your database and see like a minus 14 inventory, the level of confidence in your database just vanish. So it's very important to make sure that your database doesn't fail, and that's why I'm showing you this technique in here. Now, if you want to learn more about FileMaker and especially scripting and how you can create script that you can use in real life business situation, consider checking my course at www.fmbeginner.com/courses. And that's it for this video. If you have any questions or comments or suggestion to a future video, just let me know in the comments down below. And I guess that will be it. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.